Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a quick look at these brand new, fresh out of the box from Massdrop keycaps by Taihao. These are ABS double shot injected keycaps. They are strictly for Cherry MX Switch keyboards, which you'll see in a lot of customized DIY kit keyboards. This is actually a very budget option, so if you're looking for something that's going to be more of a higher end keycap, I would definitely not pick these up. But for a lot of you budget builders out there, I want to do a quick video for you guys because most of you are just getting into the hobby and need a decent keycap just to get you started until you can wake your way up to GMK and other ePBT style keycaps. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do a quick test and unboxing of these keycaps and do a quick comparison between the KP Republic keycaps I have here and some of the other Amazon options that I have in my arsenal. The two key switches I have here are the favorited Novel Key Cream. This one in particular is not lubricated. And then I have the secondary tactile favorite, the MX Gateron Blue. This one is also not lubricated. And then I'm going to grab a couple Amazon options that I have and compare the sound and feel to all of them. This is a fairly cheap key, which is honestly around the same price point of $19 Prime delivery. Now you can see this one, even just looking at it, doesn't look anywhere near as quality as this Taihao keycap. Even when you look underneath, this mold at the bottom of it is clearly really poorly done. You can see that the shine in this one is much more even than the one that's from Amazon, so that's kind of a plus. And then we'll go ahead and pull out the YMDK keycap that I have. This keycap here is the print screen keycap. This is the YMDK PBT, and the reason why I prefer these over some of the other switches that I've come in contact with is because these have a pretty good thickness. And when I say thickness, in comparison, you can see a fairly good difference in their thickness. Though it's side by side, you may not notice it, but I can tell a big difference. Now, as far as rigidity, I'd say the PBT is definitely more stiff and rigid, not as flexible at all. Whereas the ABS double shot Taihao is also pretty rigid, but you can definitely tell it's a little bit more flexible than the YMDK. And lastly, the keycap that I have here, this is the KP Republic PBT keycap. And these right here are just about as thick as the PBT YMDK. So first off, we're going to test out the Taihao keycap and see how it sounds in comparison to the others. Now we're going to try out the blue tactile switch. Next up, we're going to try the $19 Amazon keycap set. Next up is the YMDK keycap. And last but not least, we are trying out the KP Republic keycap. So just a reminder, we have our Tahoe, our Amazon, YMTK Amazon, and our KP Republic. So now that we've tested all of those, let's go ahead and test out the sound on a full setup Tahoe keyboard, just to see how the keyboard keys sound on a keyboard installed. What we're going to be using today is a Tofu 60. We're going to install these and test out the sound. I actually already have another set of keycaps by Tahoe on the Tofu 60 pre-installed, and we're going to test it now. Just a few things to note. The keycaps themselves, a majority of them are totally fine. The actual quality is pretty consistent. However, I have noticed there are a few that are inconsistent in quality. Sometimes you'll see these little mold marks on the side. Got little pieces here, basically like little plastic specks from where they had a mold set up. You'll see some little scratches on the bottom here. You'll also notice when you get your spacebar, the spacebar itself is very different in comparison to the actual keycaps. As you can see, the width of it is pretty much the same, but the thickness of the material is a lot thinner. And as you can see, it's nowhere near as rigid or as structurally sound as the regular keycaps. And this is maybe my only two pet peeves about this. I know that it is a budget set, but that is something that I would like to warn anybody who's considering picking these up. You will have that issue. The spacebar, as you can see here, very flexible and not rigid at all. So I would definitely be careful about doing that. Another thing I would say also regarding the spacebar is that it doesn't have this double shot like the other ones do, and that's most likely because they don't have the extra key legend on there. And I feel like just because they did that to this one, it is more rigid. So if they did that to this one, maybe it would improve it. But as far as that goes, I know they are budget keycaps, and there's really not much to complain about because that's pretty much what you pay for. You get low quality and not as good quality control when using and getting these keycaps. So you will notice that as soon as you pick these up. What I will say about the Tahoe keycaps is that overall, for the price that you pay of $15 or even $30, it is not an entirely bad set to have, just because it is an entry-level setup, which is definitely affordable for newer users. And I would definitely recommend it if you are trying to build a custom keyboard such as the Tofu and can't afford to spend the extra money on GMK keycaps or EPBT at a price of around $100 or more. Then I would definitely recommend these as a filler keycap for the time being. Overall, I do like the aesthetic. They do have a cool look to them. I do appreciate the fact that they have contrast as well, just like the other keycaps. And they will definitely do for the time being until a lot of my GMKs come in from group buys. But yes, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This is the Tahoe keycap set. This is the Dolce color, and the other color, which I was previously reviewing, is the Olivetti. They are $15 on Massdrop. They currently may be out of stock and will be eventually restocking them in their group buys in a long term. Overall, in comparison, the quality in comparison to many of the Amazon options, I think is superior just because they are double shot and they have a better variety of coloring. I really appreciate the fact that they gave these extra keycaps as well as larger and different keycap sizes for custom keyboard builds. Well guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions or suggestions regarding these keycaps, feel free to leave in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Stay awesome. Peace.